Well, hello everyone. My name is Dr. Fizz, and I'm out here with my dog. Here's Chewy, and we're traveling in my 1955 Studebaker, making a trip across North Dakota, Montana. We're going to be on the northwest corner of Montana. A buddy of mine picked up a 50 Studebaker, and I told him I'd help him get it on the road. You know, we look at cars and wonder how many of the newer model cars are actually going to be here in 50 or 60 years. You know, more than likely, none of them. Not very many. You know, they're just not built in a way where they're tough enough to stand the test of time. And I look at cars a lot in the same way that I look at people. You know, in today's world, younger people are coming down with chronic illness. And illnesses that, you know, really in days gone by, they would have been illnesses that you would have seen in much older people. You know, we're talking heart disease, cancer, and, you know, there's no reason that a 20, 25-year-old should be having to worry about cancer or heart disease. Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion. So something's gone horribly wrong. That's really how we have to look at it, is that something has gone horribly wrong. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, can it be reversed? Can it be changed? My answer is yes, but it's going to take some time and it's going to take some work. I know a lot of people, they say, oh, Doc, Kurt, you just take so many different products. And is that really what we need to do to stay healthy? And the answer to it, in my opinion, is yes. I mean, as far as you know, lifestyle and eating right and all that, I think that I eat pretty darn good. I watch my fiber intake. I try and keep it at minimum 20 grams a day, but I try and keep it at over 30, 35 grams per day. And how many of you actually count the number of grams of fiber that you have in your diet? That comes from fruits and vegetables. I eat meat that I know it's healthier than the meat you're going to buy in the grocery store. It's not loaded with antibiotics. It's not loaded up with toxic food that they give it to the animals. And I think that this is important as well, because, you know, when you take a look at antibiotics, I believe it's somewhere around 80% of the antibiotics in the world are fed to animals, cattle, chickens, hogs. And then those animals are the same ones that you buy when you go to the grocery store. When you buy a steak, it's got antibiotics in it. When you buy a hamburger, it's got antibiotics in it. When you buy chickens, it's in there. And that's considered good farming practices, because a lot of the, you know, farming practices are really developed around how can we raise enough food and provide subsistence for the world, and at the same time make it profitable for the farmers and ranchers. And as we move forward, I'm sure we're going to see that, AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be, a lot more prevalent on farms. And, so we're going to go to more of big corporate farms. Good, bad. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. And corporate, all of the world will be run by artificial intelligence. With this 5G that's coming in, that's going to change things. That's going to change things a lot. Do I think it's changes for the better? Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of the scientists are saying that 5G might not be all that healthy for us. It might be a way of microwaving our brain, and is that good? Well, I don't know. So, today on the doctor's clinic call, I just really thought I'd kind of wing it. I'd kind of set it up to where I'm just sharing some of my thoughts with you. I'm just sharing some of my thoughts. If we go back and look, way back during World War I, in Germany, in Europe, the EKG machine was invented. I mean, it wasn't anything like what we have today, but the EKG machine was invented, and the American doctors brought it back here to the States after the war, and the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, whoever they were considered to be back then, I know it wasn't the FDA, but whoever it was, they said, well, we're not going to let you use it to diagnose and prescribe and things like that until you can prove that it actually works. That's good. And it took years to find enough people with heart disease in order to prove that the EKG machine worked. Now, one might say, well, the instruments that we use today are a lot more sensitive. That's true. That's true. And the machine, I'm sure back then, was kind of crude on how it worked, but it still took that many years to find enough people with heart disease to prove that the machine worked. Now, in today's world, how long would it take you? How long would it take you to find enough people to prove that machine worked? I bet I could walk around in this truck stop, and I could find enough people here to prove that the machine worked. We look at cancer rates. At about the same time, early 1900s, it was 1 in 200 people. 1 in 200 had cancer. Think about that. Now, those cancer rates are somewhere around 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women. And they're saying in the next 20 to 30 years, those numbers are going to skyrocket. Well, wouldn't that be important for you to know? Wouldn't it be important to know why are they saying that the cancer rates are going to go skyrocketing? And, I'll tell you my thoughts on it. My thoughts are it's because of the low nutritious food that we eat. We just don't get enough nutrition in our food, and we're substituting it with chemicals. That's part of it. Our digestive system is weak, which makes a weak immune system. Our brains are screwed up. We're not getting the right raw ingredients to make the chemicals and neurotransmitters for the brain. So when you add all this up, it's really not good. It's really not good. And so when I talk about the nutrition that I recommend, that I guess I prescribe to people, and we don't treat or cure or anything like that, but when I make my recommendations to people, it's based kind of on those ideas. So first thing, we're getting low nutrition in our food and lots of calories. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to teach people how to do some intermittent fasting, get their bodies so that it clues it in on how to survive. That's important. And we also need to learn how to detox, how to pull the toxins out of the body, because once they're in, they substitute themselves for the positions that would normally be taken by the nutrients in our food. And so you have to get those toxins out. And I use things like zeolite and fulvic acid, humic acid. I use fucoidan, and bentonite works. I mean, all of these things work. Even cilantro will pull out heavy metals and toxins from the body. And so you're going to want to figure out what works best for you. Do some due diligence, do some research on it. I'm not going to tell you that I have all the answers. I think that I have quite a few. Then when we take a look at the nutrients, we've got to substitute in our nutrients. And I like the products that I'm taking. I'm going to tell you what, I feel like I'm getting plenty of the amino acids. I'm getting fiber, as I talked about. I'm getting carbohydrates. I'm getting vitamins and minerals. I like the Sizzle products. Tom has done a lot of work to create a product that really works. If you take a look at SpectraMax, SpectraMax has 74 trace minerals, and it's provided with a miracle molecule called fulvic acid, not folic acid, fulvic acid. And what fulvic acid does is it pulls toxins out and pulls nutrients in. That's found in SpectraMax, along with the 74 trace minerals and the 40 antioxidants. And why do we need all of these minerals, these trace minerals? Well, because it's missing in our food. When you look at this field that's growing out here in North Dakota, this wheat field, you can see it over there. When you look at that wheat field, wheat is grown on land that's been over-farmed, and it hasn't been it hasn't gotten the right fertilization put back in, so the nutrients are gone. And the government predicted that way back about 100 years ago. They said that our soil's going to be depleted of nutrients, and so we have to get that, and that's where we get from the SpectraMax, and the fulvic acid pulls that into the body, so your body can actually use it. Why 40 antioxidants? Well, they found that as you reduce a toxin, it becomes a free radical, and then that free radical becomes a toxin, and you have to reduce that one. And in order to reduce it down to the stage to where it's not a problem, 40 seems to be the right number. It seems to work, 30 to 40. And so that's why Tom designed the SpectraMax the way that he did. And so we're going to have minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants. And along with that, to complement that, I really like the Encompass 360. It's a great multivitamin. It was designed to provide the nutrients that we need. And so folks, for pure vitamin mineral deficiency, I really like those two products. And then we start looking at heart disease, and and CoQ10 is a great product. Omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-9s, the omega-7s, and they all help to reduce inflammation and provide the nutrients, the fuel, the good fats. And so we have a product called Super Omega, and it's actually Super Omega Plus. What is the plus? Because we've added CoQ10. CoQ10 is an enzyme that's necessary for healthy cardiovascular function, and so we have it in our Super Omega Plus. As far as cardiovascular health, I also like resveratrol, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the science because we just don't have enough time on this call. But when you take a look at the science behind it, resveratrol is highly oxidizable. It oxidizes when it's exposed to oxygen. And when David Sinclair did his studies at Harvard, he was using freshly squeezed resveratrol from the grapes and red grapes, and so Tom has recreated a resveratrol in the Eternity product that gives you a high potency resveratrol. I've seen some great, amazing, life-changing things happen when using this product. So I would really highly recommend that. And then, as far as detoxing, like we've been talking about on the call, I really like the fulvic acid. Fulvic acid is found not only in our Spectrum X, but it's found in high dosages in Body Shield. Tom designed this product for his friends over in Japan because after the nuclear reactor accident, there was a lot of nuclear waste in the atmosphere, in the environment, and fulvic acid helps to pull this out. And so that's what's found in there, along with some more of the thing as what's found in the fucoidan product itself. But I do recommend, Body Shield, and then fucoidan itself, and then that helps with that, to remove the toxins from the body. And use the super detox every once in a while, every couple months. It's a week-long detox. That works really, really well. So these are just some of my tips and what you can do. You got to drink plenty of water. Get your nutritious, clean water. I use the Sizzle water machine that I got a couple of years ago. Tom had coming up with that, and it's a great device. But I use the Super H2 sticks as well. And what the H2 sticks do is they provide super hydrogenated water, highly oxygenated as well. And so it's pulling the hydrogen and oxygen apart. It uses magnesium. It causes a violent reaction between the hydrogen and oxygen, and splits them for a brief period of time. And then when you drink this water, the hydrogen actually acts as a great antioxidant. It attaches to the OH molecule on the hydroxyl free radicals, and I'm not going to get into all that, but it reduces it and makes it so that it turns it into water and a safe molecule. Plus you get the oxygen, and you're getting some other benefits that are in there too, to help, like just the magnesium alone, and some vitamin C. So it's all good. And then if you really want to get to work on your body, the age pill, and I'm going to put together my own little package. I'm going to call it my anti-aging package, but really Tom's coming out with a product that's going to be designed to remove senolytic cells. And we've gone through this before on the doctor's clinic. Senolytic cells are the dead, dying cells that kind of get in the way of your body from making new healthy cells. And so this product is going to call it DeBomb, and what it's going to do, it's going to bomb out those unhealthy cells, the ones that are dying, and make way for new healthy cells. It won't be something you have to take all the time, but combine that with the Age pill, which supports healthy stem cell activity. Combine it with TSX, which supports healthy telomeres. Your telomeres are the fuse that determines the age of the cells. Combine it with the Eternity, which is the resveratrol. And I really think we have the best anti-aging package along with that. Then we start looking at a few of the other things, like removing toxins from your life. And, I don't propose to people that they change everything all at once. Start a little bit, add a couple of nutrients, add a couple of detoxes, add a couple of, but do it just slowly. But while you're doing all that, make some changes in your lifestyle. Start using a safe, toxin-free laundry detergent. Sizzle's Vibrant is the best one that I've seen. Plus, it works. I like to work on my cars. My clothes get dirty. And this laundry detergent actually removes that grease and grime from my clothing. And then we have a safe, toothpaste, fluoride-free. It doesn't have any of the bad stuff like the sodium lauryl sulfates. And then you start looking at the hair care products, the shampoos, all of that. But just start, add a little bit, and toothpaste. If you're using a healthy toothpaste and it makes a difference, how hard is that? You brush your teeth anyhow. Why not use a safe to use toothpaste? You already do your laundry. Why not use a safe to use laundry detergent? You wash your hair. You can use our toxin-free hair care products, skin care products, and then we have some great skincare products that are beneficial for keeping your skin healthy looking. Who wants to be 100 years old and be all wrinkled up and look like they're 100? My goal is that when I'm 100, I want to look like I'm in my 60s. So anyhow, folks, that's my call for today. I hope that I've been of some benefit for you, giving you some tips on what I would do. And you